Good morning. Good to see everyone.
Can you hear us?
I'm assuming you can. I believe I can hear them, which is the important thing.
We had a really fun moment just before the stream started where I spilled half my water bottle all over the desk, so we were mopping that up. Sorry for the 30-second delay, but we are here. We are relatively dry.
Somewhat.
And we are ready for the stream of your life.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I'm up for it.
The stream of your day.
Stream of the hour.
The stream of the best stream you will see in the 10:30 a.m. window of March the 14th.
Yeah. That is a definition of optimism. 3D Loki saying, well, you still have half the water. So there's that.
That is classic textbook optimism.
Yeah. A hint bottle half full kind of attitude, which I like.
I do too.
It's good to see everyone. We're here for Playfulverse. And you may ask, what is Playfulverse? Why am I
what
even
is
here?
Playfulverse?
Don't ask me. Playfulverse is when we join our public world called Playfulverse in Creativerse. That's what we usually do, although really it's not any strict rules. We could go do something else if we felt like it. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go join Playfulverse because it's been a while. We're going to go see what our builders have been up to, what the players here in Playfulverse.
I'm expecting great things because it's been so long. You guys have had so much time to build up cool stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
And given all of the amazing things we've seen on this series so far, I'm prepared to be amazed once again because you guys never fail to amaze us with your creativity.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Hey, we've got over on this side, we've got all your chat, we've got you up on Twitch and YouTube and Mixer. And David, can you also pull up the Steam forums if you get a second? I want to double check and see if anyone posted on, we created a forum thread, said, hey, Playfulverse is coming up, let us know what you think we should do. And it would be great to do kind of a last minute check to see if anyone advised us to check something out.
Why don't we check that? That's a great idea.
Yeah. There you go.
Good boy built a gym that was pretty clever.
Oh.
And Intaland has a claustrophile storage area, which I don't know if that means if you like tight spaces, you should be enjoying this.
I think that's what it's saying. If you're just dream of spending your day as like inside an Amazon shipping box or something, yeah.
Yeah.
If you just swing by funeral homes just to browse.
Yeah.
Just to
if your favorite mode of transportation is air ducts, then it sounds like, I mean, that's not my personal favorite mode of transportation, but who am I to discriminate? I think you should check it out.
So what Intaland is saying is that if it were, he has a storage system that will appeal to your kind of sensibility. So
something for everyone.
There's a lot of context there we'll have to keep in mind to really appreciate it, but I think that's something we can check out. So
did we tell the folks on Twitter that we were live now?
We did. We posted something about 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
That said, hey, we're going to go live soon. So I'm going to go ahead while we're just kind of chatting. Let's hop into Playfulverse itself. And as always, my Academy Award-winning direction here as I pan the camera thusly. Just kidding. I didn't win an Oscar.
You're a Roger Deakins, a regular Roger Deakins in our midst.
I will just assume that's true. Up here, I saw I was browsing the workshop yesterday, and I saw a cool blueprint where someone took the Robo Retreat, which is this, as we always say, our favorite lounging robot blueprint, and they stood him up. So they straightened out his legs, and which is more than a little bit of work, because if you look, his legs right now are made of roof blocks that are slanted, so they had to kind of figure out how to make them with straight iron blocks. Probably they just kind of copied this dude here, his horizontal leg. But they made him stand up. It was really cool to see the lounging robot, the Robo Retreat, taking a little walk and getting out and about.
Cool.
So let's check out, first of all, I'm just here over by my base where I always say, I want to build more than I never do. So first what we heard was, let's go check out Good Boy. He has something going on. So we can go check that out. I did a little scouting around yesterday. I was looking for somewhere I can start to build something new, because as soon as I get a home base established, I'm like, it's really time for a new home base, and that's kind of how I play Creativerse. And so I found an interesting spot that I think is not really where I would normally build, and I'm excited to see what I can do there. So maybe we'll go look at that too. Get some ideas. All right.
I'll allow it. So Good Boy built a gym. So we're going to get in shape.
Okay. I like this that you just kind of snuck in this yellow carpet along with the shiny gold blocks.
It works.
And just say, hey, just pretend it's gold carpet.
Yep.
All right, so I see Pikachu. Oh, there's Stigma Buster 2291. Thanks for busting stigmas, man. Is this the gym? This is, it looks like we got some...
It's a gym if you like to burn. Looks like he has a... Okay, so
farm.
Let's look for gym here.
Other corruption farm. Good boy. All right. Underground cave. No, I don't see gym. Ocean. Right, let's keep looking around.
There was a platform that went down. Did you see that?
Oh, it's in here.
And people...
Maybe it's in the basement.
Maybe it's in the basement.
Maybe it's through this curtain of molasses.
Nice.
I'm just following you, Stigma Buster, assuming you know where to go. No, turns out Stigma Buster did not know where to go.
Stigma, you did not come through today. That is okay.
Oh, here we go. Let's go down here. So a lot of times this is what we end up doing on Playfulverse is we're just going to explore, try to get a close-up look at what people have been up to, even if they haven't invited us to their home, you know. And a good boy said, hey, check out the gym that I built. It's really cool. It'll make you think of gyms. And we're just kind of snooping around his basement.
If you guys don't want us to do this, you need to lock your doors with codes, because we will come in and we will check it out and we will show the world.
So let's check over here by Pikachu. If I was looking for a gym, I would kind of find a giant Pikachu and walk toward it, I think would be my strategy.
And I will admit right now I have been slacking on reading the chats, so I'm going to try and catch up while he's looking for the gym.
Yeah.
Yes, we are looking at YouTube chat. Hayes K. We're also looking at Twitch chat.
Be kind. Okay. Will do.
So, somebody, Captain Bunny brought it up.
Yes.
And I think we can't ignore this.
Go ahead.
Because people are just going to keep asking. 32-bit blocks.
Yeah.
We released an update that converted all the blocks in the game to 32-bit. They were previously 16-bit.
That's right. Doubled the number of bits.
At face value, or in and of itself, 32-bit blocks, there's a lot we can do with that. There's probably not that you will see in the immediate future.
I want to take this sandwich, but I won't because I just saw a sign that said "Be kind," so I have to honor the sign.
Brainsloth may know a little bit more. I know, for one thing, it allows us to do more blocks. It expands that ceiling because we were getting to a place where we simply couldn't do as many blocks as we wanted, and now we can do more. But I know there are other implications.
So yeah, that's my understanding. So I was sitting in a team meeting a few weeks ago before this rolled out, and that's what they were saying is based on the way that things are implemented, we just needed some extra space for the blocks to identify themselves. And so adding more data to each block, if you think of each stone block in your world having 16 bits of data, that's a 1 or a 0 to represent certain things. So they might represent what block am I, or they might represent which way am I facing, am I rotated? I don't have rotate permissions here. And so adding some more data lets us not only add some new blocks to the game, make sure that we have tons of room to continue to add blocks for a long time, but also we've got some extra data there. Maybe there's other stuff we can do with it that may be interesting or have to do with your gameplay. And so
I know that we kind of started a fun little inside joke a couple months ago about 32-bit blocks offering all sorts of wild possibilities. And if you were in on that joke, well, I mean, it wasn't a joke. We were trying to get support and enthusiasm for the change among the dev team, which I'm sure our producer really appreciated.
He loves that.
I can say that because he's on vacation, he's not watching this.
Yeah.
Leary, wherever you are, we love you. But some of the deeper implications there are things we could explore down the road, but they're not immediate things. Like I think one example was suggested that you could paint your own blocks. That is certainly a cool possibility. It's probably not something you will see in the immediate future. We've got a bunch of other things we're working on at the moment.
Right. I mean, so if you imagine just extra data or extra information that your block could remember. So one of the things it remembers right now is rotation. And so what else could it remember? Maybe a color, maybe, I don't know, what. I couldn't even begin to fathom. And so
different shapes, different shape
oh,
variants.
we're hearing from the
Says one of our artists.
That's all a possibility. And so
More blocks.
more blocks.
We
And
did
so,
say that.
Big one.
Yeah.
So without getting too much more in detail, I think it just opens up possibilities, and the sky's the limit. We'll really kind of have to see what the dev team decides to prioritize and get out first for us, and we're excited for that. So I think it was a trick to tell us that there was a gym here, but I ended up getting my exercise by just running around this base for like 10 minutes. So I feel like I've been to the gym.
We did find the gym?
No, we never did.
Conrad, the dog father, said he was by it, but that was like 5 minutes ago. So
this is a gym where we climb the chain,
that works for me.
getting some arm exercise. So I think we've done it. We've seen the gym. Or maybe this is the gym where you have to box with Rockzilla.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to react to that. He just froze.
So Danny Morgan on YouTube asked, would we ever consider introducing the characters' emotions in their face, such as blinking or moving your mouth? I think we've talked about doing that. It's a cool idea. We don't have any immediate plans for that, but it's certainly something we'd be open to down the road if, again, if enough folks on the forums and on our social channels are asking for it. That type of stuff raises our attention, and the more support it gets, the more we bump it up our own priority list.
Yeah, I just saw a comment in one of our team chats yesterday where someone said, "Hey man, we should really get emotes in the game. Like, just imagine the personality that." And so those kind of chats don't just instantly translate to, okay, now that's on the schedule and we're going to get it done, but it does demonstrate just the enthusiasm that the team has for the kinds of things that would let you express yourself in the game or add personality or animation. And so we love those kinds of things, and certainly they are on the radar. And it's we end up giving an answer like this a lot during these streams, but it depends on when it becomes, okay, this is now the thing that we really want to focus on and do it really well and get it right. And so can't guess exactly when that might be. The Colossal Forge. I feel like we've explored this build pretty much. I'm just kind of.
It's really cool.
That's
Love
really
the lava
cool.
floor. Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know that I've actually seen this Colossal Forge. So this is a cool crafting area where you get your forges and processors. But this is what I'm really digging, is this lava floor beneath. I guess those are. I think it's an iron. Yeah, barred window. That's a window block that's now been rotated since Windows can now support that horizontal rotation.
Genius move.
Yeah, love it. That's really cool, and it goes really well with these cool iron medieval lamps that are putting out some flame. Very cool stuff.
We have a special guest here on YouTube. I am seeing Cage848 joining us in the chat.
Oh,
Who, if you remember, he is fairly decent. Has a fairly decent following on YouTube and did a bunch of videos of Creativerse a while back. He asks, the last time he played was the Halloween update. What are the major new things since then?
Halloween, okay.
I would say that building that you're looking at right now with the Forbidden City collection is one.
That's true, and so this was last month's update, I think, where we added just a free new themed recipe bundle for everyone. It was the Forbidden City update. It came with the cool You're the Dog lantern, and we've talked about it'd be really awesome to keep doing those every year if we can. A couple of varieties of these awesome linkable lattice windows, and just really these blocks. My favorite thing about them is they work well with a ton of other sets that are already in the game. The gold blocks go really well with them, or just asphalt black. There's a ton of them that you can really mix and match with them. Additionally, there was a holiday update that was kind of our iteration on the Halloween update, and so we took that format of the event and tried to take into account as much of the feedback we got from the community as possible. So made some of the events less combat focused and more where you had snowball toss and kind of capture areas and stuff like that, and improved the way that the vendor for the special seasonal rewards worked, where it was less random and you could just pick the ones you wanted. And so it was kind of the improved version, I think, of that Halloween update.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool event.
Yeah.
Cage848 is asking if that building is a prefab that you can just lay down and build. I am assuming he's talking about Blueprint.
I don't know. So I think this whole area, I'm pretty sure the Playfulverse folks have blueprinted essentially this whole nexus and their welcome center and their spawning centers, and you can find them in the Blueprint workshop. I bet if you search for Playfulverse, you might find them.
Yeah, just go to the Steam workshop and search for Playfulverse, and you will see a ton of the stuff that we show off here on the streams.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's publishing those. This particular area is called the Nexus, so maybe even searching the Nexus will bring it up. But yeah, I'm fairly certain that a lot of these builds that we checked out have been published as blueprints, since these folks are all super active kind of in the community.
Yeah, which if you didn't know, for those of you who, it's been a while, we did add the ability for anyone to publish their own blueprints of the things they've built. That's fairly old news, but I still think it's really cool.
That was one of my favorite major updates to the game.
Me too.
It just changed how I think about planning my worlds and how I build. So we're doing one of kind of our old favorite pastimes here on Playfulverse, where we just pick someone's random touchstone and we go there and we kind of snoop into their business and see what they're up to.
Okay.
So I just picked.
Although we do need to go to that claustrophile storage center at some point.
Okay, we can do that next. Yeah, before we forget.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
And while we're waiting, 3D Loki asked, "Are we ever going to get back to the data chips and journal pages?" It seems he's saying a long time ago it was said that more would be coming.
I would say don't rule that out. But I don't know that there's any specific current plans to revisit those. But certainly those are what, I mean, if you've played for any amount of time, you've probably started to collect those kind of journal pages that have little fragments of story for the game. There's also some ones that look like computer chips that are kind of told from a different point of view, different parts of the story. And so I would say definitely don't rule that out, because those are definitely kind of a fun way to convey a little flavor and narrative. But I don't think that's necessarily on the radar right now, that specific thing. But just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we had quite the documentation on a bunch of lore and backstory that we had intended to get to at some point, and at some point last year, we really just blown away by the colossal creativity from our community. Decided, wouldn't it be great if we made it more about, like, you know, the player story, and not so much about like whatever lore or adventure, and so kind of shifting the game away from an adventure type game to a creativity type game. It's a little twiggy there in that area. Where are we at right now?
So this was Philip's touchstone, and he's got a really cool kind of underground, almost like a sewer system or something. Nitwiggy was here. This is where Nitwiggy works. He had to come in this morning, cover a shift, and he just kind of roams these tunnels. But I like how, whoa, and now we're going underwater here. Really cool. This is a really neat little setup here. Stigma Buster joining us again.
He's watching our back.
There's Night Hoglet. He has a
just in case one of these Night Twiggies decides to get, decides to get fresh.
Hey Hoglet, get in
Stigma
there,
can come and
get in there.
It's our
Close the
bodyguard.
door.
You're trapped.
You're trapped. Night Hoglets can't use the door. Oh, here's a interesting underground. Really, he's got one of every kind of creature here, just for experiments, I think. So here we got some ladders that are over just the water. A cool kind of track effect. So I'm glad we came here. This is an interesting build I haven't seen before.
Yeah, these are really cool passageways. It makes me think of catacombs.
I like how it rewards exploration.
Mm-hmm.
And then down into the cave system. Very cool. So I think that was definitely a win. So we were going to go explore. We've been here a lot to Enterland's. I'm assuming it's default Enterland. We've been here a lot on Playfulverse because Enterland builds all sorts of cool stuff. But we're now curious specifically about his claustrophile inventory system.
Okay, so Darren Burney says he's been asking us about the lag. And I think some players reported extra lag when we switched to 32-bit blocks. Is that correct?
I think that's probably fair to say. And so during that update, so the various things that were changed in that update, we seem to have noticed a little bit of an uptick of some players reporting that they're noticing some hitching or FPS drops. And so that is on the team's radar to take a look at. We're still in the process of collecting details on that, and part of the way you can help if you're having that issue is to just collect all the details again. It happens to me more when I'm in this kind of area, or right when I log into a zone, or it goes away after a while. Like any sort of details like that can help us kind of pin that down and let us know on our Steam forums or by support. Support@playfulcorp.com is our support email address. And just shoot those details there. Mr. Bremy D will likely collect those for us, and we're going to get those to the team. Because yeah, that is on our radar to address. Because yeah, we've been noticing, just as we all are calling them out, so some of those reports from some folks that they're noticing a little bit more of that after the last update. So we're looking for, I guess, main storage here, secondary storage. Antolin, you might have to help us out here.
Yeah, if you're watching Antiland or if anyone else knows, call it out.
I might go to secondary storage here. You were already there. I don't know if that means 3D Loki.
3D Loki. We were already there.
Work in progress.
He says to go back to his touchstone. We spawned into the storage.
This is it?
Oh, okay.
Oh, was I just talking and I didn't even notice it?
Yeah, teleport to Entolin again.
I think I just talked through it. I was like, okay, let me walk past the storage unit to go find the storage that we're looking for. Here we go.
Maybe you were too claustrophobic.
I totally didn't even notice, like it didn't even occur to me where I was. This is quite claustrophobic. Okay, so what we have going on here are just various architect chests. So I'm expecting to find in this one 3 varieties of signs and the forbidden. That's not forbidden. That's the corrupt obelisk. He's got a bunch of blueprints in here. It looks like. So sure enough. So maybe that just means signs in general. And is this one? So this is stone. Yeah. Okay, I see. So there's a little bit of creative license here because this sign points us to stone windows, stone doors, stone stairs, stone roof, and yet there's some architect stuff in here that looks like stone. I see a death statue that kind of looks like stone, and so you kind of got to.
But if you, Brainsloth, if you take a step back and look at the bigger, i.e. smaller picture, claustrophobic picture, he has crammed as much into the tiniest space imaginable, all of the items in the game, it looks like. It is impressive, using arc signs to display icons.
Yeah.
It is truly impressive how compact and dense this is.
Yeah, and look, the floor is crafting stations, right? So if you're crafting here, you're like, okay, I need grass, I need diamond, I need to process that and forge that. You can do it all without even moving, basically, which I guess is the goal. You can stand here in the middle and reach the corner block, the corner chest, and say, okay, I need some limestone. Wow, and get it. So.
And given the fact
really
that stacks now go up to 300, if you know what you're doing, you can walk in here, spend some time, and walk out with your pockets bursting with all sorts of items, crafted items. Just get the materials you need, process, forge, walk out, and just go build a city.
So I'm assuming that Antolin's going to get this. That once it did say in progress, or that was something else. So. I wouldn't be surprised if Antolin gets this published as a blueprint if this kind of storage appeals to you. Yeah, really cool kind of system here. I always appreciate a good system. Yeah, 3D Loki says already blueprinted. So yeah, go search on the workshop for Antolin, and you'll find that, I bet. I think let's go snoop some more. I'm liking the feeling of going and just looking around while we're not welcome.
Yeah.
Rain is what I was on here. Loki says, it's in the top subscribe right now. Good to know. So you probably don't even have to do a search. You can probably just go look at it. It's going to be surfaced on its own at the top of one of those main lists.
James McCullough on YouTube asked, how did the company begin? Well, the company began in 2013. It was founded by a man by the name of Paul Bettner. He and his brother created Words with Friends way back in the day. And then they sold it to Zynga, and then they decided to start their own thing. And our very first game was a virtual reality game called Lucky's Tale, which debuted on the Oculus Rift. And I shouldn't say that's our debut game, because we did Creativerse was first in early access the year before. But yeah, it's since then we've been doing all sorts of stuff. We came up with a sequel to Lucky's Tale that just came out a couple months ago, and we've got a bunch of more projects in the works. So definitely appreciate all of you guys, especially some of you longtime fans like 3D Loki who have been with us from the beginning. It's really awesome to see people come together and get excited about the stuff we've built and do amazing stuff with them, like what we're seeing here in Playfulverse.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did forget to mention the pivotal moment in our company's history when we hired Mr. Brainsloth here and completely changed everything forever. Nothing was ever the same.
Yeah, they were considering renaming it Playsloth. No, that didn't happen. So I took a random teleport. I already forgot who's. I'm now in Absinthe zone, but we were in Rain's zone before, but okay. Now we're underwater and getting irradiated. There's a thing there. I think we're inside like a mob trap or something. This is a little dangerous. Let me see if I can teleport out. And I just realized I have like 1% health here. I'm gonna just try to roll. I don't think I need to eat any mushrooms for this whole zone, for this whole stream.
Well, that's a bold move.
Lemons.
Bold move, Cotton.
Lemons.
See how it pays off for you.
We'll see.
Ooh, Intelland is finally joining us on YouTube. Cage848 asked about our next game. So we've already publicly announced the next game is Starchild. If you want to find out more about that, you can go to starchildthegame.com. I'll go ahead and post this in the chat, and you can go check it out. It is we're making it. It's going to debut exclusively on PlayStation VR, but eventually it will come to a bunch of consoles, including flat screen. So you don't have to have a VR rig to play it. So that's in development right now. We don't have an estimated estimate on when that'll launch, but we're hard at work. In fact, the folks right behind us are working on it right now.
Yeah. I think the trailer, the most recent trailer, is up there on that website too. So you can check that out. That's also, of course, on YouTube. We came up here and just, I think we're right above. Oh, no, we took another touchstone here, so I'm just checking out. This is the kind of spot that I try to find when I'm looking for somewhere to build. It's kind of a conjunction of biomes, and so you get a little variety. So here we have the woodland, kind of right up against a swamp, and that's a personal favorite because both of them have grass as their kind of base, and so it's really easy to kind of build between them. You can see where the bog water is meeting the regular kind of stream water here. So very cool. This is the exact kind of place where I would try to flatten out a little area and set up a base. So I'm going to go visit my own touchstone, and we can kind of blab about what I should build there. I think before maybe our next Playfulverse, I might try to set that up.
Mixer's being tricky.
So I set up a new teleporter here. It's kind of in a canyon area, and so how do y'all, I would like, maybe it's going to be hard for you to let me know right now, but I would love ideas on how do you build in the canyon biome. I've seen some Twizzle, one of our longtime kind of players. I haven't seen him around lately, but he always comes back to the game. I see he built a cool city called New Mesa City, where he kind of hollowed out and replaced some of the canyon spires with this really modern looking city, and that's one kind of method. I liked this area because it's right up near the snowy area, but it's not cold enough to trigger your kind of cold meter, so you can spend a lot of time here. And there's just a lot of interesting kind of land details. The drawback, of course, is that it's super uneven. It's going to be hard to kind of build something kind of on a flat base.
You know, my favorite method for building in the canyons is a combination of the right mouse button and the left mouse button, and the mouse wheel.
So just kind of a strategic deploying of the mouse.
Yeah.
It's a mouse-based. Hey, I think
that was terrible.
That's kind of a pro strategy, really, if you think about it. I like that we got kind of a variety of trees here. We got the Elderwoods nearby to Cragwoods and even some Ashen Woods over here. So it's an interesting area to me, and not one that I tend to spend a lot of time in, and that's what makes it interesting to me to build in. But it's definitely going to be a challenge, I think, to get anything that's you can navigate in here and see and kind of build something that's big enough to use. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear. Maybe I'll start that discussion on the forums later. Like, how do you build in the canyon biome? And so that's kind of what I spent a little time yesterday, just kind of exploring around, looking for a cool spot. And this spot really just spoke to me. I loved all the interesting kind of terrain and how it's different from where I usually build. But it's going to be a challenge I'll have to figure out. So maybe.
So this is the future home of something cool from Brainsloth.
I hope so. I hope we can follow up in a future episode of Playfulverse, and I'll have created something there. So stay tuned. Oh, I'm stuck here. So let's check out one more. Touchstone roulette is what we call this. Shrouded Anvil. All right.
I'm seeing several questions here that all have the same answer. One about ranged weapons, one about the game on mobile, one about the game on console, one about moving blocks and pistons. And I think the answer to all of those questions are, we love those ideas. We have definitely discussed those ideas ourselves.
Animal. What are you doing here?
And
why am I here?
Oh wow, it's another Brainsloth. I think that seems to be Playfulverse folks' favorite pastime.
I think so.
Is putting you up on the walls.
So there's this real art. I like the.
I think what they're saying is
here.
that you are just as good of a piece of art. That is art just as much as the old American farmers. Oh man.
Well, I can't tell you how that feels. I really can't. It's indescribable. People who spoke about us. This is an interesting place we've ended up doing.
It's an interesting commentary on many things.
I'm a little nervous to keep looking around, in fact. So that's just
What
one of
will
our
we find?
You
You took that screenshot.
I did? I think you took that one.
I took that one, yeah.
Of PMA's build, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, what's up over here?
I think you need to sing it.
I do not. It turns out that I don't. It turns out that your impulse is completely incorrect and that you're wrong about that.
See, I think it turns out that I'm right. And if anyone wants Brainsloth to sing this, just tell us. And
well, you know, they're just really trying to focus hard on building a game behind us, David.
He'll listen more to you than he will to me.
I'm just too considerate to start singing the what is that? What's the name of on The Simpsons? The base of that song. That one. Oh, I don't know the code to get out of here. I think we're trapped forever.
A couple people are saying sing it.
I see that they are, and I'll take that under advisement. All right, how about that? I'll really seriously consider it. So I don't even know what to say here. I'm a little flabbergasted. So I think we've checked out this.
I think the hum is about as good as we're gonna get.
That may be.
Yeah. Anyway, before we saw this amazing room, I was just saying
the stonecutters. That's what it is on The Simpsons.
Yeah. All of these suggestions that you guys are bringing up are great ones. They're ones we've talked about and are excited to do at some point, but they're not on the immediate horizon. And so just keep bringing them up in the forums on our Twitter or Facebook page. We listen to all that, and that actually has a lot of influence.
Yeah, for sure.
Over our roadmap when it comes time to plan.
Yeah, the team just asked us pretty recently. They said, "Hey, let's get a real up-to-date list of everything that the community has been asking for and prioritizing." We met about it and we put together a really great list just within the past few months, past couple months, I'd say. So my buddy Sebastian on here hanging out. So I think I'm trapped in here. We're just gonna have to teleport on. Ancient crafting table. That is the ancient crafting table, isn't it? That was the old crafting table, which is now all you need to do is press Q if you want to craft. You used to have to find one of these in the world. Yeah. That's a relic. Oh, there is a teleporter. Emergency exit. Let's see. Oh, check this out. A little biome teleporter. So this is right under the biome teleporter. This is one of the kind of main areas in the game. We've seen this biome sanctuary before, I think. This is near that nexus or near one of the main kind of build areas for Playfulverse. So who knew there was that weird Brainsloth focused kind of social club beneath it all.
There's a secret society.
Secret society. That's exactly the word I was looking for. The 2 words, I should say. Yeah, I think we're back here.
You're having deja vu.
Yeah, I think it's either in the same style or it's exactly the same as the Nexus that we were at. I see some statues over here. I want to say that's Adora's, maybe Angel. Maybe that's not Adora's. Maybe that's someone else's. I don't want to give incorrect credit. Oh, very cool. Should we do one more touchdown roulette before we wrap it up, David? What do you think? Last one was such a hit that I almost want to leave on a high note.
I defer to your judgment.
All right.
Which is often correct.
It's at least 50% of the time correct.
Mm-hmm.
Or right around 50%, I should say. Let's do one more. It's going to be this one. Boom. It was Claire Light, I think. Let's make sure. Claire Light. Not to be mistaken for Clear Light. Now Captain Bunny says, yeah, we're back at the Nexus. So who knew that one Shrouded Anvil's touchstone was there beneath the Nexus? Now we know. We learned something about Playfulverse today, which is really awesome.
Now you just have to commit it to memory.
I do. I have to learn the Brainsloth song.
That's something you guys can request in the forums. If rather than features, you'd like to see Brainsloth singing, you can always suggest that on our forums.
I don't think anyone wants that. Anyone wants that in the features. So that is just a giant character on the sign, I think.
Yeah.
But hey, it made this cool decorative detail. So we're in Claire Light's zone. This is a cool little kind of house, actually. This looks like, if I had to guess, this might have been built from Blueprint, or else Claire Light built it to be a blueprint because of how it's...
Go back to the tree real fast. A couple folks, including KJ848, don't know what arc signs are, so I just wanted to point out arc signs, you can do a whole heck of a lot with them, and this is just one example. They are basically, they were initially intended to project text up in the air from a little box underneath, and players found out that you could put a whole bunch of stuff, including code, in them, and they figured out how Brainsloth is showing you right now. Pretty intense amount of... I don't even know what kind of code is that, like BB...
A lot of it is...
What do you call that?
Well, these are like HTML tags.
HTML tags.
So if you look, what this is, it's made up of different icons from the game. And so unlike a normal sign, which you can just add text and do some basic formatting, size, color, the arc signs give you some additional formatting, and so you can actually add icons from the game. So that's one of the bombs. I forget what bomb. That's like explosive bomb or something. Right. That's one of our health potions.
But you can also add you can designate individual pixels, which is how people make your face appear in the game.
That's true, yeah. So if you want to do something totally off the wall, like this is making really smart use of our icons. Those are presents that we have in the game. Or you could go really nuts and use like basically the period character, I think, and just define like 10,000 of those in various shades of color, all in a row, and it ends up making a picture. So people do that too. So it's a little beyond fathoming. But you can kind of see, essentially, if they're just typing this code into the signs field here and creating artwork.
And if you don't want to get super technical, a lot of these are actually blueprints, and blueprints now retain that code. They what's the technical term for that? I always forget.
Oh, we call it advanced blueprint capture.
Advanced blueprint capture. That's not the word I was looking for, but
like the entity data.
Entity data.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can actually get a lot of blueprints that are pre-made.
Yeah, that's a great place to start if you're not sure. Like those arc signs are cool. He looks like a giant Chiserzilla here, which I'm enjoying. But if you're thinking those arc signs are cool, but I have no idea how to get started, go check out the Steam Workshop, because that's exactly right. A lot of folks have published ones that probably this tree is up there right now, and then all you have to do as the builder of that blueprint in your world is place down one arc sign, and it just populates with all that data for you, and now you have a cool Christmas tree in your build. So that's an awesome way to start.
Chizard always looks like he knows exactly where he's going, and the destination is nowhere.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the way he walks and the look in his eyes, he's like, I know where I'm going.
Yeah, help him
it's nowhere in particular, but I know I'm going there.
I agree. Chizard's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
I just like, he just looks like he's so smart with it. He's got all the answers. Thank you, Chizard, for your service. All right. Why don't we wrap up and see if anyone's got any additional questions, and then we will call it a day.
Let's do it. Let's call it a day.
So let's hop back over here.
I mean, I could spill some more water, but I'm almost out.
As a callback to that first moment in the stream, yes. Hey guys, thanks for showing up for another Playfulverse. As always, these are a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of great interaction from everyone on Twitch and YouTube. Not so much on Mixer, but that's okay. We'll get there someday. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. A lot of interaction.
And then we discovered a secret, totally indescribable Brainsloth-focused secret society underneath the Nexus on Playfulverse. So if you're joining the public world, you can go visit that, learn the song, and then post yourself on Twitter singing it.
I want to join the secret society, the Brainsloth Society.
Well, there's an oath, and you'll have to take the oath. Okay. I'll let you know about it off stream.
Okay.
As it's a secret. I'll tell you about it later.
I mean, I would point out that it was apparently even a secret to you. So
it was.
I don't know that you can speak authoritatively about this society in your nom de plume.
That's true. I might have to go do some research.
Do you want to pull out any questions?
Let's see. Well, someone's asking, is the server full or can we still join? I will do a quick check on my other screen here. No, actually it's totally not full right now. It's about half full, 10 people on. So the kind of cap for concurrent players is 20. But usually there's enough room on Playfulverse that you can just join in and hop on. There's kind of a core group of users that rotate out. And so anytime you join, it's going to be 5-6 people on. And we get a few more during the stream, but yeah, there's plenty of room. Come on. And I happen to know that the admins of Playfulverse are in the process of spinning up 4 new Playfulverse worlds to make a lot of space. And so
that's cool.
They were careful.
We're growing.
They were careful to get one of each of the different maps that are available in the game. And in fact, on the Steam forums, if you go look for Remy D's post, he's hosting a little contest where you can help design the Welcome Center for one of those 4 new maps. So go check that out if you're thinking of trying to find a cool public world that you'd like to be a part of. There's the existing Playfulverse world, and also you can, or you can wait and join one of these new ones when they open them up, and be part of the community that way. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Any promo codes coming soon?
Let's see. We just did a goofy one on Facebook. If you Facebook reached 15,000 followers. We were very excited for our channel to have 15,000 followers, and it just happens that Creativerse has exactly 15 doors in it, 15 different doors, and so why not combine those two just very unrelated facts? And so we put out a free bundle of 15 doors for everyone.
Is that still active?
I think it's still active for another couple weeks or something. And a lot of people said, hey, thanks for the free stuff, and some people said, why are you giving me 15 doors? I'm not even sure I want this. And so you may fall into either of those camps, but that's okay. Even if you don't even think you want 15 doors, they're there for you. And you can come grab them anything. The code, I think, is 15 doors. I'm pretty sure. Go check on Facebook, our official Creativerse on Facebook.
One of these days, I I've always had this idea of creating a promo code full of all of the deprecated items in the game that are no longer used.
Like the hoof.
Yes, the hoof and the chisered feather.
The chisered feather. That old port crystal.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd get in trouble if I did that, but I love the idea of just like saying, here you go. This is a bunch of fun stuff. It has absolutely no use in the game, but...
With the crafting station in, although that's kind of broken. I think the UI on the crafting station doesn't even work because it's no longer supported in the game. It's a good idea. It's all about setting the right context.
Just kind of an Easter egg.
Yeah, it's all about
for the
setting
long-time
right
fans.
Hey, these ideas aren't in the game anymore. They're actually broken. Might not even work at all, but here they are, you know.
They might entirely break your world
Yeah.
and just bring the servers crashing down before destroying the entire universe. Probably not.
Probably not that. 504 Wolverine says, sorry, I'm late. Well, it's okay, 504 Wolverine. I forgive you. I just need a note from your parents. Or else this will be an unexcused late. Unexcused tardy.
It's the last one, 504 Wolverine. Watch your back.
Yeah, this is going on your permanent record. All right, I think.
Great stream, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
This is a lot of fun.
We will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.